In a quiet valley where mist moved like forgotten dreams, there lived a man. People called the Philosopher of Shadows. No one knew his real name or where he came from. He was said to speak rarely, but see everything they said. He lived between light and dark, listening to what silence had to say. One cold evening, a young man named Aaron arrived in that valley. His heart heavy with failure, he had lost his job, his purpose, and the people he thought would stay forever. The noise of the world had drowned his own thoughts, and he no longer trusted the light everyone told him to chase. He walked until he saw a faint glow deep in the fog, drawn by something beyond reason. He followed it until a small hut appeared. Its door half open inside, an old man sat beside a flickering candle, his face calm, his eyes half closed, as if in conversation with the wind. Aaron spoke softly. "Are you the Philosopher of Shadows?" The old man opened his eyes slowly and smiled. "Only if you believe silence can speak." Aaron stepped closer. "I came because I don't know who I am anymore." The old man gestured for him to sit. "When light blinds you," he said, "you must learn to see in the dark." Aaron frowned. "I've always feared the dark." The philosopher pointed at the candle without shadow. "There is no depth without darkness. There is no contrast. Light alone can show nothing." Aaron stared at the trembling flame for a long time, his thoughts slowing like falling snow. The philosopher continued, "When the world goes quiet, that is when truth begins to whisper. Do you know that the human brain produces 70,000 thoughts each day? Most are noise, repeated fears, recycled memories in silence. New patterns are born. Creativity is not born from noise, but from stillness." He stood and walked outside. The air was cool, the moon hidden behind drifting clouds. People run from silence because it shows them who they are. He said the greatest ideas of history were not found in crowds. Einstein, Newton, Da Vinci all worked in solitude because silence sharpens the mind and steadies the soul. Aaron looked at the stars scattered above them like broken glass and asked, "Why then does pain hurt so much if it is supposed to teach us?" The philosopher smiled gently, because pain strips away illusion. It makes us meet our real self. A study once said that almost 70% of people who go through hardship grow stronger, wiser, more compassionate. We are shaped not by comfort, but by challenge. Aaron lowered his head. "I thought failure meant I was weak." "Failure is only unfinished strength," said the old man. "When metal meets fire, it screams before it shines." The philosopher picked up a black stone from the ground, smooth and cool. He handed it to Aaron. "Keep this. Darkness is not your enemy. It is the clay from which resilience is shaped." They sat again inside as dawn began to breathe at the edges of night. The candle now smaller than before. Aaron asked, "Will this feeling ever go away?" The philosopher looked at the flame. "It will not go away. It will change. Pain never disappears, but transforms like night, turning into morning. The trick is not to chase light, but to understand shadow." Aaron closed his eyes, breathing slower than before. He felt the weight of the stone in his hand, and for the first time it did not feel heavy. The philosopher's voice softened. "When you stop running from your shadows, you discover they were never chasing you. They were walking beside you, waiting for you to notice them. Remember, even the sun sets to rest and still returns stronger each morning. Learn from it." Aaron nodded, a quiet strength building in his chest. He opened his eyes and asked, "What if I forget these words?" The old man smiled. "Then silence will remind you. It never forgets when you stand still long enough to listen. You will hear it again." Aaron looked outside. The first light of morning touched the hills, painting silver lines across the valley. He turned to thank the philosopher, but the chair was empty. Only the candle remained, its flame bending toward the window as if reaching for the dawn. Aaron stepped outside. The world looked the same, yet entirely new. The river sang softly nearby, and he could hear his own breath blending with the rhythm of the earth. He looked at the black stone in his hand, its surface now warm and alive. and he realized that maybe peace was never something to find. It was something to remember. He whispered thank you to the quiet morning and began walking toward the rising sun. His heart no longer afraid of darkness, his steps steady, calm, and full of meaning behind him. The valley returned to silence, and somewhere in that silence, the Philosopher of Shadows smiled.